Alright guys, so it's Friday night, drinking me a little Jack and Coke, sitting around, I was thinking, get off your tail, do something. So, here we are, back to the friction folder. I'm going to start getting it ground out. I'm going to bring you guys along. Don't worry, I'll move this before I start throwing sparks. First step, I'm going to cut it off, and then we'll bring it here to the belt sander, refine down the shape I'm looking for, and start working in the bevels. Okay, so we got it clamped up here in the vise, got a chuck line on it, got a angle grinder with a cutoff wheel. We're just going to cut it off. Here we go. Simple as that. Alright, so I got a real coarse belt on this belt sander. We're going to go ahead and get this to shape. This will probably be pretty quick. Here we go. Okay, so I've got this portion of the blade from about the belly up really defined. I can't quite get what I want with this, so I'm going to make a change to my belt sander real quick. We'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay guys, I told you it'd be a quick change. All I want to do is take that guard off. So I'm going to get that guard off, and now I'm going to be able to work on this radius up here behind this guard, so it's going to be a little hard for you to see, but that'll let me shape that up the way I want it. So here we go. That did exactly what I wanted to. It allowed me to chase that edge a little bit. So next I've got a little deep hammer mark here I don't like. So I'm going to throw a regular grinding wheel on the grinder, face it up completely, take all this scale and stuff off. I've got some scale here I don't like. I'm going to hit that, and then I'll start working in the bevel. Never like to have to grind that much on a blade. I like to give my hammer strokes a lot flatter out of the forge, but that's the way this cookie crumbled, and if I hadn't ground those out, it would look like hammered cat crap. So looks a whole lot better now. We'll start working in the bevels. Okay guys, so as I grind this, get it up here, I got blade's pretty straight, but I've got down here I'm way thinner than I am up here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap tape around where I want my ricasso to be, base it off my other one, and then as I grind I'm going to have to push in harder. I'm going to use, to even that out, I'm just going to use more force and push in more back here and lighten up as I move my way out. That's typically what I do anyways to cut a deeper ricasso, so that's how I'm going to do this one. Let me get it taped up, I'll come in, start grinding, and we'll just carry along. Okay guys, last second there I decided I wasn't happy with this shape, so I hit it with an angle grinder, touched it back up on the top, and then finished it out using the slack part of the belt. So I'm a lot happier with it now. Now we're going to go ahead and grind those bevels. Here we go. And you guys let me forget to tape it. We're going to tape it, and then we'll go. Okay guys, we got this taped up now, since you all let me forget to do it. So here we go. So this hole in my glove here, throwing sparks right down in it. It's getting warm. Just adjusting the tracking on the belt here so that I can change where that plunge line is on the other side of the platen. Undercut portion of the knife, I really have to watch how I push that in and where the sander's meeting the metal. By hand, it really feels like there's two different angles going on, but there's not. So real time, we're at 5 minutes and 40 seconds. There's my bevel. Focus. We're roughly a 1/16 of an inch thick. Nice, clean, straight lines. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this ricasso out, or this tape off, so you can see how that makes a nice clean ricasso. I'll probably, well, no, because I'm done grinding, so I won't regret that. But that is how clean, just the light little here. That's how clean that allows you to get. Takes a lot of time and feel. This curve shape is very difficult to sand. It took me several times practicing and trying to figure out how to do it. So if you're new at it, keep trying. It gets easier with time. That's all the grinding I'm going to do. When I cut this, I miscalculated a little. However, I'm still awful thick back here. I'm a little shorter than I want to be. So I'm going to throw this back in the fire, pull this out some more. I really want to push this material here up this way and bring it out. I mean, I'm talking a 1/2 inch, maybe something like that, not a ton. So that's probably the next step I'll do. I'll fire the forge up next, I don't know, probably tomorrow, but before I release this video, pull that up where I want it, drill the hole, if I can get my fingers out of the way, drill the hole for the pivot point so that it pivots. Then heat treat, handle, finish, and away we'll go. Alright guys, so it's the next day. Last time we were working on the knife, it was Friday, now it's Saturday. So can't tell it because my lighting's terrible, but it's nasty and rainy outside. We're going to get the forge fired up here. We're going to work out this back end like we talked about. Then I'll let it cool off, drill the hole, probably go ahead and do my engraving today. Then I'll heat treat, and then the next step after that will be to do the finish work, finish out the handle. And I've already got some blanks cut from the first one I did. I'd made 2 sets of scales for the handle, so we'll take those same scales, well, not the same scales, the ones I didn't use obviously, and we'll turn that into the handle. That's probably not this video, but the next one. So here we go, firing up the forge. Maybe a 1/4 inch more, if that. If I get half of that, if I get 1/8 inch more, I might be happy and call it a day. It's plenty long enough, really, I guess. It's just a matter of what I want, what I like. So it's a cool day outside. waiting for the garage to get a little warm before I opened it up, so, or shop, whatever you want to call it. So my forge is going to act funny here for a minute. So I just went ahead and laid this on top of the anvil to make sure that my blade was good and straight while I had it hot, in case I needed to work out any depressions or anything. So all I'm doing is flipping it over and making sure that the spine is straight and lays flat on the anvil and I don't have any twists. I'll bring you in here for a closer look. Which you can see. I think I'm going to call that good. Next step is to drill this hole in the steel so that it'll pivot right. Now let that cool off. There's probably a little more grinding I'll do, but that'll be the next thing I show you is how I plan that pin. Alright, so this is how I've worked out where that hole needs to go for the friction folder. I've got the pre-drawn template on this piece of wood here. There it goes. So, pre-drawn template on the piece of wood here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a nail through the backside to mark it. That's where I made the other one. So, as you can see, I'll be able to put that point there, rotate it down, and then I'll put in my stop and I'll grind this away so that it's nice and flush so that the problem with my other one is fixed. So I'm going to get that marked and then I'll get it drilled. Alright, so I've got the piece of steel marked here. I'm going to go ahead and get a hold of it and drill that center point out. So the brass rod that I use is 1/8 inch. So normally if you want something really tight fit, you would not do the same size drill bit. But because I want this to pivot, however it's a friction pivot, I do want to use the same size drill bit. So I've got this center punched. Here we go. That's wanting to walk quite a bit, so I'm going to center punch that just a little bigger. Alright, got that center punch just a little big. Alright guys, trying to get you in a good spot where you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So, got the outline on this piece of wood. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and transfer that outline roughly to the piece of metal. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I have to engrave this knife. So I've got that transferred out. So I know that all my engraving is going to happen forward of that line so it can be seen. So I'm going to get the message written out here and come back to you when I'm engraving it. We're going to get this engraved real quick. Alright guys, I had some camera memory issues. We're picking back up. Here we go. There it is. There's the message. I think I'm going to make that a little deeper. That's, of course it looks rough. There's chips and stuff all over it, but there it is. Once I heat treat, it should look a little different too, so that's what where I'm gonna leave it. Thanks for following along in the Friction Folder series. This is another video done. Be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe. Put any comments you want to down there of future videos you want me to do. The next one we're going to heat treat and finish this puppy out. Hopefully just one more video. Thanks.